From MS Now.
Oh.
You may be wondering what that is. MS Now. It is is MS. No one watching. Actually, it used to be MSNBC. They say Trump weighing the ouster of Kash Patel, according to sources. Patel has come under scrutiny for his stewardship of bureau resources, including his girlfriend's security detail and use of a government jet. Yeah, I've not heard that, but I don't consider MS Now to be any kind of legitimate news organization. Carolyn Levitt posted the story is completely made up. In fact, when the fake news was published, I was in the Oval Office where President Trump was meeting with his law enforcement team, including Kash Patel. I read the headline from the president and he laughed. I said, "What? That's totally false. Come on, Kash, let's take a picture and show him you're doing a great job." And there's Trump and Kash. Big ol' smiles.
Good.
Thumbs up. You were just saying a moment ago that Kash wasn't doing his job. And Trump's not going to fire the guy.
No.
Why, so
What?
for whatever your view is on this thing, like Kash is doing a bad job, MSNBC, MS Now, claiming they want to fire him, it's like, yeah, this is double fake news.
Right.
This is silly.
Well, I do think he's not doing his job. He's director. He's directing, delegating. He doesn't have to look at the Epstein files. He has to have a team do this, a team do that. It's called delegation. You know what I mean? You know. So why is he not?
I run a corporation, and it's not as big as the FBI, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, you got to get your hands dirty. At a certain point, you've got to look over some shoulders. You got to take a look at some files. You have to see it and verify it for yourself, right? It's like when Peg Bundy. I'm sorry, Pam Bondi. She says, "I got the files on my desk."
Yes.
Then the next day, the story is, "Oh, they were in a truck." So it's just like, wait a second. If you had the files on your desk, did you like?
Yeah.
It starts to get some obfuscation of the facts, right? There's no veracity to.
Especially when it's Epstein's files. You got to know what's going on with something that big of a deal.
Well, Kash Patel talked big cash on the way to his position and said, "I'm gonna get him for you."
Yeah.
So if you were so gung ho about it, why are you not looking at it yourself? I would be if this is the biggest story of the year as far as tabloids are concerned, right? You gotta get your hands dirty. You're the director. I'm not leaving this to delegate, especially when the delegations are from the previous administration.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You gotta, if these is the Biden, they just came from the Biden administration, you gotta definitely double check their work. Like
And they're leaking stuff, too.
and they're leaking stuff,
Yeah.
right? You just don't leave it up to
We put up
delegated it to.
I put up a poll for the chat. Is Kash doing a great job or should he be fired?
What is it?
And I know that
That's a tough one.
it's like pretty extreme. It's like either
Yeah,
you might
it's-
say he's not
it's
doing a good job, but he shouldn't be fired. But right now it's 51% Kash is doing great.
yeah, I mean,
Maybe I could sorry, I'll put 3 options actually. Let's do 3 options. I'm gonna end
let's
this.
do 3. Let's do 3.
All right, let's do this.
What's the third option?
All right, let's see. Add an option. Should we do 3 or 4?
4. Do 4. He's doing great. He's doing poorly.
Kash is doing great.
He's doing
Kash
poorly.
is doing okay.
Okay, there you go. Kash is less than okay. Or Kash is doing horrible.
Or should he be fired?
Fired. Yeah, let's go extreme with the last one.
All right, we'll give you the options. I spelled should wrong.
Let's see what that looks like. I'm on the he's doing okay.
Me too. I agree.
He's doing
that we were in the Discord show. For those that aren't familiar, if you join at timcast.com, we do a 6 p.m. show, which is like private VIP for Discord members. And someone asked if I thought Kash was doing a good job or not because of the story that came out. And my point was nobody ever brings up the boots on the ground, granular stuff that the FBI has been doing, like catching criminals. And because it's not flashy.
Right.
You know, a guy is wanted on like drug trafficking charges and it's like 3 felony counts. He's going to get 15 years. It's not the biggest story in the world. FBI catches him. He gets arrested, field office or whatever. Nobody's making a post being like, boom, look at this. He caught this one guy who was trafficking this one time. And so poor Kash has tried to do press conferences on this stuff being like, here's all of the like street level crime we are stopping. We are doing a good job. And everyone's like, yeah, but we just want to see Comey in prison. Like quite literally. They could, if the FBI stopped doing everything related to ground crime and literally just focused on arresting like a single Democrat, people would be more satisfied. That's the problem with perception. So I say he's doing okay because I do think if we don't get accountability on all this political corruption, then what do we look forward to in the future? It's high level now. But I also think for those of us that have been paying attention to the news and seeing what the FBI's been doing, it's like he's been cranking it up on child predators, and traffickers. They've been doing a pretty good job on that.
Okay, what's the chat at now? What are they?
All right, we got let's take a look at this. What's the assessment? We got 12% doing great, 44% doing okay, 24% less than okay, and 20% he should be fired.
20%.
I like the less than okay. Like, he's not doing bad. It's just
We could do it better.
I was going to say he was a big Russia hoax guy, wasn't he?
He was
came on the show a
accused.
couple
He was
times?
accused.
Yeah.
He was framed as being a Russia guy.
I mean, that's what I mean. He had a big investment against it.
Yeah, he's
Go after
pissed,
them.
and he's super pissed at Comey, bro. As the head of the FBI, like, I'm gonna go ahead and say this all due respect. I like Kash, consider him a friend of the show, but when he said Comey perpetrated one of the greatest criminal conspiracies or whatever, I'm like, whoa. Like, there's a reason why the head of the FBI doesn't make these statements, because it can jeopardize your prosecution and your investigations and things like this.
Yeah.
But I actually really love that he said it, because I'm like, bro, when he said that, come on, how are you gonna pretend like he doesn't want to get these guys? He's so pissed.
Yeah, he's been pretty vocal about it. I mean, he's been on Dan Bongino's show talking about it. He's been here talking about it, and he's been very clear that he looks at the FBI before this Trump administration as one of the most corrupt organizations in the entire federal government. And I don't know that you can really argue with that. Like, they were politically motivated, from top to bottom. It wasn't just the leadership, it was the people that were in like management positions and stuff, people that you don't know their names, but they were extremely politically motivated. And you could see that by I forget the guy's name, Peter Strzok. Peter Strzok was, he was texting his girlfriend like, oh, we're going to get him. And nobody would have known his name had it not been for the fact that he got busted for those texts, because he was a mid-level guy. But when you have a bureaucracy like the FBI that has that many people, it's hard to smoke them out, because when the new administration comes in, they just stop talking about it. They don't make a big stink, and they're like, okay, I'll just wait this administration out, and then when the new guy comes in, when the Democrats are back in, then we can continue on as things were before. Mm-hmm. And I think that's likely the situation. Like, there's a significant threat to conservatives currently by people like that. Should a Democrat get into power again, which they're definitely going to, they will just keep doing the same things they were doing during the Biden administration. They'll keep attacking conservatives. They're going to do things like start watching parents that are going to school committee meetings and PTA meetings and saying, oh, you have the wrong opinion. So I personally think that it's super important that they do their best to root these people out. And I think the Cash wants to do that.
Conservatives are cooked, man. The conservative movement is cooked.
I agree.
Yeah. Stick a fork in it. It's a wrap. It's over. You had a great one. MAGA, kudos to you. You had a great one. Populist movement is going to be completely, utterly dismantled. You guys are going in 20 different directions. The men, they just want to go to work, make an earning, come home. His wife's watching Candace Owens. She's talking about Macron Slim Jim. And it's just, can we get focused, people?
I'm going to tell you some of the, I been having conversations with top men.
Oh,
top.
I was talking to, as I mentioned before, like, a lot of people are asking me about the Turning Point situation, like what our end of the year plan is. For the past 3 years, it's been Phoenix. This year, we're going to be at the World Poker Tour World Championships. I was invited to do an influencer stream with some other high-profile personalities and millions of followers. I think it's a great opportunity. Every investment we've made at Timcast has been for cultural issues. Okay. So we sell coffee. And we're opening coffee shops, physical places people can be. First one should be open actually very soon. Big updates coming. Yeah. You guys should hang out at Mamba Collectibles in Martinsburg, which is where it will ultimately be. Right now, the card shop is open. Come play, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, whatever you do. And we're going to be setting up a show there for Friday nights where we do D&D, depending on Ian's reliability. But we've invested in skateboarding, music, and poker. These are things that I do, and we want to reach people where they are. You got to fish where the fish are.
Yeah.
There's a dude we all love and respect, G Prime 85. You've seen his comics, I'm sure. They always go viral. He's got some of the best. And conservatives always rag on anyone on the right who's trying to do arts or sports or entertainment or gaming, and they say, grew up. I was talking with Father Ripperger, who's amazing, by the way. We're talking about demonic possession. And he mentioned there's the influence, demonic obsession. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on this stuff. But he was pointing out that the obsession is when you're influenced by the demons, you're not possessed by them, is also a problem we have. And I asked him, this was in context, it was a part of a larger conversation, that we know that the arts are where you meet people and you share, like, the stories you tell are what influence their worldview and things of this nature. But there's a prominent sector of conservatives that insult or attack anybody who tries to get in a creative space, saying it's for children, grow up, get a job. All of these things to make you feel emotional pain and rejection for doing what you actually need to do to reach normies. I asked him if that was demonic, and he said, absolutely. The idea that they're...
What's demonic?
So
You reaching out through culture?
No. Telling conservatives
people
not to do it is
got
demonic
you.
influence.
Got you. Okay.
Because the uninitiated, imagine this. Imagine someone told you that trying to, like, missionaries were stupid for going to video game conventions. It'd be like, whoa, what do you mean? Like, go anywhere you can to teach people your worldview, your morals, or ethics.
Right.
But we have a faction of people on the right that will tell you, don't do these things, they're bad. It's like, bro, when people are at Super Bowl and it's 20, 30 million in the ratings, and you're like, we don't need to be focused on sports ball. We got to be talking. Yeah, okay, dude. Regular working class Joe doesn't know what you're talking about with Israel, with Ukraine. All he knows is his interest rates are too high. He can't afford his grocery bill. He's got $700 a week in groceries for his family. He's got 3 kids, and he's pissed. And then you're telling conservatives, don't go meet him at the game.
Yeah.
What is he thinking? Bro, I worked all week. All I want to do, man, is have some wings, crack a beer, and watch some football and chill out. And I'm not advocating you sit down next to him and say, stop watching the game, we're talking politics.
Right.
I'm saying you fist bump him and say, bro, I got a great game. Come do this fantasy football thing we're doing at a bar. And guess what? What's at the bar? You got an American flag. It could be as simple as that. And then while you're there and you're hanging out and everyone's having a beer and having a good time, you can be like, man, these prices, man, I wish they'd come down. But you know, the problem is, and then you are friends. Then you are sharing your ideas. There are people who, I'll tell you this, if you only ever invest in being in spaces where people are already conservative, already political, you're not convincing any new people to pay attention.
Yeah. There's a famous copywriter by the name of Eugene Schwartz, and Eugene Schwartz is an expert copywriter in marketing, and he basically says, if you want to be a great copywriter, read the National Enquirer, read the tabloids, because you have to meet people where they are. If you have a conversation with somebody and you can't talk pop culture with them, they're never going to listen to your political opinion. If you don't know who scored 50 points last night at a high level, you have no way to connect with them. And you have to connect with people at the heart level first.
Yeah.
And then you can brainwash them, after that. You condition them to sit them down in the chair. You tie them to the chair. You turn on some, Andrew Breitbart.
Open their eyes up so they can't close their eyes.
Yeah, you keep the eyes open.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about earlier, like Americans vote on vibes. They vote on how they feel. And that's as much, even people that are like, no, I really think it through and stuff. What they're thinking about is, does this do the things that I need them to do? Do these policies do the things that I need them to do to make me feel good about my life? No matter how you slice it, you're voting on emotions. So you have to meet people where they are, and you have to be able to convince them, I am going to help you, because if they feel like they're getting help, they feel like you care about them, that's going to make them feel good.
It happened with my movement. When I first started the Hotep movement, I was like, no fast food and no sports and no TV. And it got us nowhere.
Everyone's like, screw that, bro.
Like,
I want my Taco Bell and I want hockey.
Yeah, I got cussed out. They're like, what are you talking about? Shut up, bro. You sound crazy. But as soon as we shifted and I got a little bit more lenient, I had some Popeyes on the stream, enjoyed some McDonald's French fries, talked football. All of a sudden, we became relatable. Talking hip hop, we became relatable. People will figure out, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, this guy's cool." Now, what do you have to say about politics?
You got to fish where the fish are.
People there, yo.
You got to fish where the fish are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Imagine going into a liberal space and trying to convince them to listen to your politics. They're not going to do it. So then everyone goes to these conservative conventions and they're like, I agree too. And I'm like, what are you doing? So I will actually say this with great hubris. We have one of the most influential skateboard companies in the world now with Boonies HQ, with the Boonies boards. The board we got right behind, I got my Uncancelable. And I'll show you this. You see that board behind me?
Okay.
That logo on that board is one of the most iconic skateboard logos for over 70 years. And the company, independent, that used it, abandoned it, removed it from all their products because woke people told them it was a Nazi cross or something like that. It was an Iron Cross. As soon as they dropped it, I picked it up, started selling boards with it on it, and we now own it. That's the point. And so what happens is skateboarding is now shifting. It's a very limited industry, but it's an Olympic sport. It's going to be massive in the next 3 years, and right now it's totally dead. And we used to have pro skateboarders saying, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can come skate because of the politics. Now they're saying, can I come skate? I need the money. So we have entered a
I started
space.
skating.
Good.
Yeah, I'm gonna be ready for the ramp next year.
It's not about going to a group of kids and being like, let's talk politics, children,
Right.
and bringing in a pro skateboarder. It's about bringing people in and being like, yo, those crazy people that hate your guts and treat you like trash and threaten you, we're not like that.
Right.
Come skate with us. We got a big old American flag and smiles on our faces. We're not here to talk politics. We're here to skate. And now they're in our sphere of influence.
Mm-hmm.
And some people have said that's a nefarious idea. No, my point is this. We are always more welcoming, more understanding, and not threatening you over your political opinions.
And you ain't gonna chop off their Slim Jim.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.